Salam dostlar, ikinci dersimize hoş geldiniz. Hello and welcome to our second lesson of the Turkmen language. Today we're going to learn how to form the possessive in Turkmen and how to form questions in Turkmen. So let's start with the possessive. So how do you say, for example, in English, we want to say, we have a noun. So let's say we have a noun such as name. How do you say your name in Turkmen? In Turkmen and all Turkic languages, you would change the noun to imply possession. So what am I talking about? Basically, you would add the ing or ing, these two letters I, and then n with the thing on top of it, or y with the n with the thing on top of it, depending on the vowels behind it, to imply possession. So let's just go through some examples, and then I think you'll get it because it's really easy. So for example, the noun ought or odd means name in Turkmen. So what does adin mean? Adin means your name because we added this to the yn. I don't know what that's called. I'll just call it n. But n with the thing on top of it is pronounced like ing in English. Okay? So adin means your name. Alright, likewise, the verb ish here means work. So if you add in to the end, ishing, that would become your work. If you speak Turkish, this would be similar because in Turkish it's the same, except you guys don't have this letter, this nasal n. You guys have normal n. So in Turkish, work ish would be ishin. So it's the same in Turkish, but if you don't speak a Turkic language, this is kind of hard to understand. Some other languages, such as Latin, also have cases. This would be called the genitive case in Latin. All right. So let's. How about we can also use the possessive on personal pronouns. So if you remember from my last video, men means I or me. So how would you say mine in Turkmen? You would just add this in to the ending. Mening. Senin. All the third form is a little bit different. You change this L to an N. Just a normal N, and then add U, and then the nasal N, or noun. The reason for that is just because vowel harmony, which I'm sure you guys can find videos of it on YouTube. It's very important in the Turkic languages. So I'm sure if you guys watch a video on vowel harmony in Turkish or Kazakh, it's the same in English. So you guys will understand the concept. But basically, yeah, we had you, and sometimes we would be bizing. Siz would be sizzing. Siz means you all or you formal, remember? So sizzing means your in a plural way, or your in a formal way. Likewise, olar, you add olaring. There. They becomes there. So you guys see, you add the yn if it's a long vowel, like olar, there's this long A here, so it matches with the Y, olaring. If it's a short vowel like this I, which is pronounced E, sizzing, then you add another in, just to have the vowel harmony. Alright, so down here, here's another vocab word that you can decline. Hal means health or state of being. So we might ask somebody, how is your hal? It just basically means, how are you doing? If you change that to yňyz, what does that mean? Haling means your state or state of being. Yňyz means your plural or your formal state of being. By the way, hal is used usually by more by Iranian Turkmen than by Turkmenistan Turkmen. In Turkmenistan, they use the word yagday, which means the same thing as hal. So if you say yagday lar iňiz or yagday langiz, it's the same as hal iňiz. Some basic vocabulary now, just so you guys can have conversation. Salam means hello, and you guys, it's a common word in all Muslim countries. Sag bol means thanks. Sag means health, and bol is the command form of bolmak, to be. So sag bol literally means be healthy, but we use it in the sense of thank you. You can also use it to end a conversation. Sag bol. So it means kind of like goodbye. Be healthy. In the Kazakh language, if you're familiar with it, they say sağ bol. It doesn't have the meaning of thank you in Kazakh, it just means goodbye. In Turkmen, it means thank you more than it means goodbye. There's another word for goodbye. We usually say hoş, or hoş sağ bol. Okay? So now let's go over forming questions in the Turkmen language. To form questions, you just add my or mi, again, depending on the vowels behind it. So for example, the word yakşı, you see this S sedia? It's a SH diphthong. So yakşı means good in Turkmen. So what does yakşı mean? Yakşı means are you good? You make it a question. Goe is another way to say good in Turkmen. It's used more colloquially. If you change that to goe mi, what does that mean? And I know it's hard to see, and I apologize for that, but I just added my to the end of this word, goe. Goe mi, that means are you good? So you can just think of this mi ending when forming questions as is it or are you. It can also be, if you put ol goe mi, it can mean is it good? If you put sen goe mi, are you good? Alright? There's also 5 question words, just like in English: who, what, when, where, and why. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. Forgot to add how, so let me just write that down before I say it. How. Okay, who is Kim? What is Nama? When is Hachan? This is different than Turkmen. If Turkey has Turkish spoken in Turkey. In Turkish, they say ne zaman, which means what time. In Turkmen, we have a word for it. Hachan. It means when. Nerede means when, where. Nerede, where. Nama için means why. Literally, nama, what does nama mean? It means what. Için just means for. So nama için, what for, why. That's the meaning. Just like in Spanish, we say por qué, why, or what for. Or likewise in French, they say pourquoi. Same thing in Turkmen, they say nama için. If you speak Turkish, you would say niçin in your language. It's the same, comes from the same thing. The word for how in Turkmen is nahile in official Turkmen. And by the way, this A with the 2 dots on top of it, it's a soft A. It's the A sound, like an apple. If it doesn't have the 2 dots on top of it, it's a longer A, as in well, I can't think of an example, but it makes the ah sound. Okay, so nahile means how. Quick note: Iranian Turkmen don't say nahile; they say najira. Same meaning, but they don't use this in Turkmenistan. In Turkmenistan, they say nahile. Likewise with namachin, in Iran they would say namidanachin. Same meaning. Okay? So we went over how to form questions, we went over how to form possessives. Let's end our lesson today with some sentences. What does seng, adın, namen mean? Well, first of all, let me tell you that seng, S-E, nasal N, is the same as sening, but when spoken, we don't pronounce the I usually, so we just say seng. instead of sending. Alright, so knowing that, what does saying adın nama mean? It means, what is your name? Najra, yakshimi haliniz. Usually when you're talking to a relative or something, that's how you'd start. Najra, yakshimi haliniz. It means, Najra means how, yakshi means good, yakshimi means, yeah, that's good. Means how are you? Alright, so yakshimi means is it good? And then iňyz, I said down here, it means your health. So word for word means how is your health? Or like how's it going? Right? Likewise, if you want to respond to that, like how are you doing? You would say, you know, I'm doing fine. So you would say hoa goa sagbo. Hoa means yes, goa means good, and then sagbo down here it means thanks, like I said before. Or what if you want to say, no, I'm not good? You would say, yo, goa da. Dal means not. So goa dal, not good. Alright? So that's a little introduction to the Turkmen language. If you understand the basics I presented in this video and the one before this, then you should already have a very basic understanding of the Turkmen language, and everything after this will be easier. Alright, so thank you, and thanks for listening, and that's the end of our lesson.